So just draining the oil. I'm going to drop the sump, redo the gasket, and straighten up these dents as well in the sump. So I've unclamped on the back here, bring it that way, so I could move this hose over, this rubber protection hose. So, and then move this clamp here over as well, so when I take the pan off and wiggle it, it's going to come free from one spot to the other, whichever is the weakest, so I can get the pan out easiest, and then I'll take the hose out the rest of the way once the pan's out. And you got the oil level sensor there. That's only 4 10mm bolts. I'll take that out, and then I don't know how many bolts hold that sump in, but then we'll do that next. Righto, well there's a couple of problems here why this leaked. First of all, they used clear silicone, not gasket silicone. And second is, whoever did it bolted it straight up and it's squashed all the silicone out, so you just got metal everywhere, and as you can see the silicone's just kind of like flaked off here, and it's left all bits of silicone in the oil. You can see that there. Lucky enough the what's it called, the oil pickup doesn't pick it up, but it's got all this chunky stuff in the bottom that's just all old gasket now, or old silicone. So I'll be cleaning all that up, get the dents out, and put it on properly. I'll also be using a silicone gasket, not my preferred choice, but trying to get a gasket in Australia for this. I can't find one, but I did hunt around. Toyota said they'd have to get one from Japan, and everywhere else I could find them were overseas, you know, America and so forth. But the stuff I'm going to be using is this here. Now this Ultimate Black is supposed to be exactly what you use for sump gaskets, and that's what I'm going with. I searched it online, plus I asked advice, and everybody is saying use this Ultimate Black. So just doing a leak test here, because I wanted to make sure that from those dents being straightened out and so forth, it wasn't going to leak. It is, but not where I thought. It's just leaking from the sump bolt, so that's fine. I'll just make sure that I've got a proper copper washer or something between the bolt. There's no holes in the sump, which is a good thing. Okay, so just underneath the van here, you can see that the oil pickup's okay. A couple of little things in there, but it's nothing bad. But the thing I didn't know about was these wash plugs in the bottom here. That's another thing that could fail if you're not using coolant in the car and these rot away. It's going to mix water with the oil and give you a false impression that you've got a blown head gasket. So not only the water pump can get, if the seal breaks, can get water into the oil, but these wash plugs could do something as well. So yeah, always good to keep an eye on that anyway, and you know, if something doesn't feel right, do a pressure test and whatnot, because with this particular engine it might not be a blown head gasket. Now I just need to clean all this areas up here. It's not too bad, and once I've cleaned all that up, the sump's already ready to go on. And when putting the sump back on, there's a couple of threads that you use as a guide to put it on, so you get it in the right spots. So there's 2 nuts on this side here only, not the other side, so you can line it up, get it in place. And I'm going to show you once I got the silicone in place and so forth, and when I put it up, what it looks like and how to do it properly. Now you probably know that I'm not big on silicone, don't like it, but I have no choice in this job here. So I've cleaned it all up around the edges with a brake cleaner, and she's ready to go on. I just get the sump itself ready to go in there with the silicone and that, and we're nearly done here. Also going to reuse this little hose. It's still fairly soft, so really good, okay to reuse. I might have just skipped a step anyway. I put a 6 to 8mm bead all the way around and around the nuts and so forth. I'm putting the sump in place now. The trickiest part is getting that hose in the correct position as you put it on. And I just want to show you here, when tightening the screws up, you only go up to a point where, now if I can get it right, and you can watch the silicone come out a little bit. Now it's tight there, and go a little bit. So the silicone coming out, that's as far as I'm going to go. So hopefully you got to see that, because that's what I'm doing all the way around, just so I see the silicone move a little bit. I know it's flattening up, and then I'm going to leave it like that for a couple of hours to dry up before I tighten it up any further. Righto, so the sump's in, it's tight. Now important is you just notch it up, you don't tighten it to it's as tight as you can go, because then you just squeeze the silicone out and it breaks apart and everything. And it's, you know, even after I've left it 3 hours, but even after 3 hours it'll still be soft in the center. So it's just hand tight kind of thing, you know, you'll feel it. It's tight sort of thing, you know what I'm talking about. Had the van running for a while, no leaks, so she's right to go there. Gonna do the exhaust and universal joints next, the next time I come here. Yeah, still got a couple of things to go, nearly there. Oh, thanks for watching, and I'll catch you on the next one. Cheers.